We live in a world of distractions, of dopamine, of people trying to get your attention at all times of your day. It's becoming harder than ever to just be focused on one thing at one time. And if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel while working a full-time job, while taking care of other parts of your life, like your health, your social life, it's becoming harder than ever to actually do this without feeling overwhelmed, without feeling chaotic, without feeling burnt out. And that's why time blocking is so important and such a useful technique, which is essentially giving areas of your life that are important the full focus that they deserve. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to implement time blocking into your life so you can maintain your career job and even progress in it while growing your YouTube channel. And you can apply it to other parts of your life as well, like the gym, and grow in those areas. The reason for this is it's not just more productive to do this, but more fulfilling. So let's talk about it. How to balance a 9 to 5 job with YouTube via time blocking. So first of all, we want to understand what time blocking actually is. So time blocking is a time management technique where you divide your day into blocks of time. Each block is dedicated to completing a specific task or group of tasks. This helps us focus on one thing at one time without distractions. And in this way, we're not constantly in a state of anxiety trying to juggle multiple goals, multiple parts of our life at one time. And we can actually, be present and turn up and just have that time dedicated for that one project. So that's why it's so effective. The benefits are helps you stay organized, improves your focus, and makes sure you're making the most of your time instead of multitasking, which has been shown to be very ineffective and unfulfilling compared to focusing one thing at one time. So multitasking can reduce productivity. Time blocking encourages deep work. You might have heard me talk about deep work before. I'm a big fan of it, coined by Cal Newport. But this is essentially dedicating your time for one focus, and having specific periods of your day for that work, that deep work. And the opposite of this is how most people live their lives in a very reactive state. When things come up, they just have to do it. They have multiple small tasks at once. But when you really time block, you're dividing your time throughout the day for one focus. Okay, so examples: if you work a 9 to 5 job, you can block out 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for your job, obviously. So anything in that time is gonna be related to your specific goal of your job or your career. And then after 5 p.m. you can dedicate blocks of time for your YouTube channel, such as 6 to 8 p.m. If you're a pretty good goal to have is work 2 hours on a weekday for your YouTube. So 6 to 8 p.m. might be a good time for content creation. You could even work 8 to 10 p.m. for another part, video editing. Or I'll use another example. You could go to the gym from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. But the whole idea isn't just so you can focus and be more productive and have deep work in those times, but also it means outside of those times you can not think about it. You can not put your attention to it. So it creates boundaries. So you're not, these tasks and these goals don't become all consuming. So that's the big advantage of it. Setting up your time blocks. Let's talk about this. So you want to identify your priorities. So start by listing and prioritizing your tasks for both your full-time job and your YouTube channel. You can also include other goals to this as well, maybe your health goals, maybe your gym goals. You can list them out as well. But I'll just focus on your job and your YouTube channel for this. You want to identify the most important tasks that need your attention. So just in a big list and put like stars for what's the most important tasks. You want to create a weekly schedule. So break down your week into blocks of time dedicated to these tasks. Here's an example: Monday through Friday, you're going to work 9 to 5. This is blocked out for you for your full-time job. In the evenings, you then allocate the same block of time for your YouTube tasks. I think it's important to this because it's very easy to just let your evenings go away from you or to be all consuming with YouTube. But you should treat your YouTube like your 9 to 5. You should block it out. So let's say 6 to 7 p.m. for brainstorming video ideas, 7 to 8 p.m. for scripting, and so on. You might only want to work 1 hour of a weekday or 2 hours for YouTube. And then it means the rest of the evening you're not working, and that's the beauty about time blocking. So yeah, creating a weekly schedule is important. You want to allocate time for work and YouTube, so make sure to allocate enough time for both work and YouTube. If you really want to be serious about progressing both at the same time, or at least maintaining your job, working well at your job, but then trying to grow your YouTube. If you have a big project at work, you might need to adjust your YouTube time blocks. So be realistic about how much time you can commit to each task. For weekends, you can have longer blocks for YouTube tasks, such as content creation. But in the weekdays, this might be limited to 1 hour or 2 hours. The idea is for you not to be burnt out, for it not to be all consuming. So you need to give yourself time for other things as well. As I said, like going to the gym, that's important. For resting, other priorities like friends and family. So time blocking doesn't just make you more productive, but it also creates time outside of it for other things. So it's just a really good way of creating balance, creating discipline. So last section, tips for effective time blocking and overcoming challenges. So be realistic when setting up your time blocks. Be realistic about what you can accomplish in each block. Don't overload yourself with too many tasks. It's better to have fewer well-defined tasks than to spread yourself too thin. Flexibility. This is key. So life happens and sometimes you need to adjust your time blocks. If something urgent comes up at work or you have a creative block, it's okay to shift your schedule. The goal is to have a structure that guides you, not one that restricts you. So by setting up your schedule, that's your intention at the start of the week. Doesn't mean you have to follow this exactly. Things do come up. It's okay to be flexible, but just having an intention, having a guide is a good framework, and you can deviate slightly from it. Breaks and self-care. Don't forget to include breaks and self-care in your schedule. Regular breaks help maintain productivity and prevent burnout. Make sure to allocate time for meals, exercise, and relaxation. So ultimately, you can create time blocks for these things, as I said, for the gym, for meals, for rest time, for social life. And it's just a good way of respecting how important they are in your life. Just like you respect your job, you block it out, you have to go to your job 9 to 5. If you want to make progress in other parts of your life and you want to respect that, then you have to do the same with YouTube. You have to do the same with your gym. You have to do the same with social life. So it's just being aware that you are protecting this time with this one focus. The goal is for it to be fulfilling for you. So you're focused on one thing at one time, being present. And the goal is also for you to do your best work and be most productive. And time blocking allows this. So it means that when you are working at one thing, you know you've scheduled the time for that. And anything that comes up that's outside of that, that's okay because you have another schedule for that later on. And you can then review at the end of the week, what do you need to time block more of? What are you nourishing? What are you neglecting in your life? That's important. So it's always about awareness, reflection, and adjusting and going forward. So in this way, hopefully you can grow multiple areas of your life at one time. You know, your job, your career, if you want to continue that, you can still do that while growing your YouTube channel and while nourishing other parts of your life. Last thing is there will be challenges. So let's talk about some common challenges. Unexpected work demands can throw up and interfere with your schedule. To handle this, you can build buffer blocks into your schedule to accommodate urgent tasks. So creative blocks. If you're struggling to come up with content, you can use your time for brainstorming or research. Remember, the key is to stay flexible and adjust as needed. So yeah, the main point is things will come up. Things will come up you'll have to react to, and that's okay. You can actually accommodate that because it's going to be inevitable. You can have sections where you deal with like urgent tasks throughout the week. So when they do come up, you don't have to react to them straight away. You will have these blocks that come up maybe on a Wednesday and a Friday and a Sunday, or maybe you'll have, half an hour every day to deal with urgent tasks. But in this way, you're still proactively dealing with them and not reacting to them straight away as they come up, and that can just throw your whole evening off. So yeah, I hope you can use time blocking effectively. Yeah, so you can grow your YouTube channel alongside your 9 to 5 job, and it's definitely possible. But if you don't manage the time blocking, it can be very, very chaotic and you can feel burnt out. So, this is definitely a good strategy.